Sometimes when I'm in the fit, the individual things that I'm working on can look kind of small, can look kind of little. And then when you take a step back and you see what the organization has done over the last 40 years to more than 40 years to shape our community, to shape our city, to bring justice and sort of sacred love to our community. SDOP has done so much. We have been focusing a lot in the last couple of years on housing and homelessness with political leaders and with candidates that focus on those issues of housing, homelessness, and sustainable development. We had an action about a couple of years ago with Georgette Gomez that was looking at housing and transit. We had an action with Chris Ward about a year ago that looked again at housing primarily, and we've been really working hard on sort of pushing the city council in particular to do more and find solutions that really work.
A few years ago, there were two young black men who were arrested because the police said they were associated with gangs. So we got 50 people from our church to go down to the courthouse, along with people from SDOP. And they were out 2 days later.
With Jeff, our O4J action group has worked on turning out the vote. We've hosted various community forums with candidates running for office when we could meet in person. We've actually done one online since we have gone virtual 100%. Working with SDOP has energized members of our congregation to a greater sense of community service, to reach beyond our comfort zones, to build relationships and put our faith in public.
A couple of years ago, when I lived in North County, SDOP helped a local congregation, which was not mine, fight back against a proposed redevelopment of one of the last remaining affordable housing developments in the area. There was a plan to take this apartment community and redevelop it, to gentrify it, as so much of North County is being gentrified. And were hundreds of families living in that apartment complex that were looking at being displaced, looking at being evicted, looking at having no place to live once this development went through. And a lot of the folks who were impacted by that belonged to a local Catholic church, and SDOP organizers helped them come together and really get significant concessions from the developer in terms of the number of affordable units, in terms of how people who were going to be displaced were going to be treated, where they would go, could they come back, would they have top priority coming back once the new units were in place. And they got together so much more than they ever could have gotten without the support of SDOP organizers. It was a really significant win, and it was a really significant win for the community that I lived in. I can think also about the work that SDOP did in the fight to save DACA, when the decisions were coming down out of the Trump administration, and the work the OP and a lot of partners did across San Diego to provide support, to offer legal aid, to set up the rapid response network was powerful, so important. And it was people coming together when injustice was happening and saying, no, this is not the community we want. How can we work together to try to put a stop to this, try to turn things in a better direction? And again, it was the leadership and the support of the many congregations that came together with the tools that we were given by our organizers and our partners at SDOP.